So welcome everybody. This is Sarah Hayes, the Astromomma, and welcome to your special Jupiter and Scorpio video where I will look at the upcoming transit of Jupiter going into the sign of Scorpio on October 10th, and I'll also be looking at how this transit will be affecting each sign, whether that be your sun sign, moon sign, or rising sign. So before I get into the whole explanation of Jupiter and Scorpio, I just want to do a couple housekeeping announcements. So first is just honoring and acknowledging everyone for their love, kindness, and support of Astromomma, my business. You guys have just been amazing. I say this every video, but I really truly mean it. I have gotten enormous response from Astromomma for my posts, or I've also gotten a great response to my YouTube channel, so people coming over and liking, subscribing, to my channel, and of course, people coming over to my website, astromomma.com, and purchasing one of my very affordable readings. Again, I like to keep these reasonable for everybody, so astrology is accessible to the masses. So thank you for all your love and support. It truly touches my heart, and this is why I do this, is for you guys. So again, just thank you for all of the love. Really appreciate it. My second announcement is I am going to be doing more videos that are a little bit more obscure. So I've had a lot of people ask me about such topics as midpoints, family astrology, so looking at the dynamics of two people in a family relationship and the dynamics of their relationship horoscope together. So I'm going to be doing some interesting and different videos coming up that I'm not seeing out there on YouTube. I also clearly follow a lot of great astrologers on YouTube, but I'm not seeing a lot of these videos, the topics for these videos. So I'm going to go ahead and do them. Why not? And thank you for commenting and giving me suggestions. Keep doing that. Clearly I do this for you guys, so it makes a difference to hear what you guys would like as far as, in content. And of course, I'm always happy to do my best to satisfy those requests. So keep them coming. You can email me at theastromomma@gmail.com or just leave a comment on the page. So now we're going to get into Jupiter and Scorpio. So Jupiter and Scorpio will happen on October 10th, 2017 till November 5th, 2018. So let's go into first about what is Jupiter. So Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. It rules abundance, luck, expansion, travel, wisdom, spirituality. And generally, when Jupiter is in an aspect to one of our planets, or in an angle of our chart, it usually brings abundance. Sometimes it can bring an abundance in a good way, and sometimes it can bring an abundance and maybe not so positive way. So what it really tends to do is it just expands whatever it touches, and usually it does it in a very large, opulent way. Now Scorpio is the 8th sign in the Zodiac, and it is originally ruled by Mars, and then the modern day ruler is Pluto. So it has to do with joint resources, sex, death, rebirth, transformation, power, taxes, again, any kind of joint endeavors that you do with other people are the 8th house or Scorpio. It tends to, kind of go deep into the underground world and reveal secrets and things that are hidden. It's also the sign of research and analysis and power and silence. So when Jupiter goes into Scorpio, we're going to see an expansion around, again, these themes, these scorpionic themes of sex, death, rebirth, taxes, transformation, power. And, again, depending upon where it's going to hit in your own natal chart, and again, I'll go through each sign of Jupiter and Scorpio's transit, it'll, obviously it'll be a different effect and expansion for everybody. So another thing that people have been, kind of coming to me in this last year when Jupiter was in Libra is they said, hey, Jupiter in Libra is supposed to be about this expansion and relationships and balance and fairness and equality. And I, have had a really rough transit of Jupiter in Libra, whether that be, again, Libra being your sun sign, moon sign, rising sign, or just really in general, everybody has kind of come to me, and said this. And my response to this is, Jupiter's effects, again, expand. So a lot of times when it moves into a different sign, which is every year, it stays in the sign, once a year, depending upon the aspects it makes to outer planets, will affect kind of the general, opulence and expansion that it's capable of. So just to give an example, while Jupiter's been in Libra, Jupiter was opposing, and just recently exact, Uranus in Aries. So, Jupiter expands, Uranus is sudden events, in Aries it can be violent, it can be, have to do with war, guns. So, unfortunately, we saw the massive shooting in Las Vegas almost on the exact aspect of Jupiter opposing Uranus. And again, all of my condolences go out to everyone affected by this tragedy. But that's, again, some of the aspects, again, with Jupiter opposing Uranus, that this could be a manifestation, of that transit, again, kind of more on a negative term, but usually just expanding sudden events. Again, Uranus being in Aries, these are around, themes of aggression, war, violence. And then also Jupiter was squaring Pluto in Capricorn this past year, and it happened 3 times exactly throughout 2017 or 2016 and 2017. And Jupiter expanding Pluto would be expansion of power struggles, ego struggles. Pluto in Capricorn, Capricorn rules government, authorities, any superiors, people in power. So again, we clearly saw this in the world over the last year. I can give the example clearly of President Donald Trump and, his relations with North Korean's leader Kim Jong-un, and just the power struggles. Again, the enormity of those power struggles, the enormity of those egos kind of clashing and coming together. So again, depending upon how Jupiter aspects, again, more the outer planets or the asteroids, it will, definitely impact, how it kind of comes across and some of its, some of what it can deliver. This year and into next year, when Jupiter, goes into Scorpio, Jupiter will be in a trine, which is a positive 120-degree angle to Neptune and Pisces. So there'll be an expansion around our compassion, our spirituality. We'll be going more into our own selves and really, looking at our subconscious, looking at anything that we need to heal in our subconscious. Well, this is definitely a great time for expansion in the arts, music, industries. A lot of people will be feeling very creative, and again, an expansion around just in general compassion, spirituality, and healing for sure. And then when Saturn goes into Capricorn at the end of 2017, Jupiter will make a sextile to Saturn, which is a 60-degree angle. That's a positive aspect. So Saturn rules restriction, it rules karma, responsibility, structure. So expansion and abundance around our structures. If you've been looking to take on a creative project, this is a good time with Saturn in a positive alignment to Jupiter to really formulate that project, to really get it off the ground and create a lasting, effect and stability with whatever you're up to. And then Jupiter will be making another sextile, again, 60-degree positive, harmonious aspect to Chiron. And Chiron is an asteroid that sits between Saturn, the past, and Uranus, the future. And it's called the wounded healer. So Jupiter in a positive alignment to Chiron, the wounded healer, will help us deal with our wounds. It'll help us, come up with new innovative, expansive, and inspirational methods to release some of our pain and, again, creates massive healing. There could be definitely some breakthroughs around healing modalities, probably more, holistic ways and means. But definitely, again, Jupiter in a positive alignment to Chiron will be expansion and growth and releasing any wounds that we have. So let's get into now, Jupiter going through in Scorpio through each zodiac sign. So again, you can do your sun, your moon, or your rising. I tend to look at mostly the sun and the rising being the, probably more so than the sun. but you can also look at the moon as well. So let's get started. So Aries, Jupiter and Scorpio transit will be happening in your 8th house of shared resources, sex, rebirth, death, joint endeavors. And again, this is the house that Scorpio rules. So while Jupiter's transiting in Scorpio through the 8th house, it'll be even more powerful and potent. So again, expansion around mainly your joint resources, your partner, either business or romantic, could all of a sudden get a contract or a very lucrative deal or inheritance that will clearly directly, impact you. And again, just expansion around shared resources and, transformation, a very transformational time for Aries. And then Taurus, Jupiter and Scorpio transit will be happening in your 7th house of partnerships, contracts, negotiations. So an expansion around, meeting new people, whether that be romantic or business. It's a really great time, to get involved with new groups. It's a great time to sign contracts. So you'll be seeing probably an abundance of, new people showing up and very inspirational people who can help you in your endeavors. Gemini, Jupiter and Scorpio transit will be happening in your 6th house of job, health, well-being, day-to-day routines. So expansion around your job. You could get a new job. You could definitely have new sources of income come in from new projects or new clients. You could be having expansion around your knowledge of your well-being. So starting a very inspirational new diet or health, routine, health lifestyle change. You can also see possibly a new pet, because the 6th house does rule pets. So, Jupiter could bring you a really great new little animal friend. And you just have to watch with Jupiter in the 6th house that you don't overindulge in sweets, because Jupiter can be, again, very expansive and indulgent. So, watch what you eat. Again, you might be craving more sweets at this time. So that might be the only kind of more negative influence of Jupiter in the 6th house. But overall, a really great time for your job and your well-being. Great. So Cancer, Jupiter and Scorpio transit will be happening in your 5th house of creativity, children, love, and self-expression. So expansion around your self-worth, your creativity. You could definitely be increasing your family at this time. If you want to conceive or adopt, this is a great year to do that. But an overall sense of expansion around, again, your creativity. You could have a creative project come out at this time. You could also, again, 5th house ruling love. You could meet a new inspirational partner at this time, or just, being generally dating more and finding a lot more enjoyment in it. Good. So Leo, Jupiter and Scorpio transit will be happening in your 4th house of home, family, property, and your emotional foundation. So expansion around your home. You could be buying a new home, a new property. You could be having resources that help you renovate your property. You could be healing and expanding your relationships with the women in your family. Usually 4th house is the women close to you, women in your family. And you could also be expanding your own spiritual knowledge of yourself. You could be looking at your ancestry. You could be finding out very new and innovative and expansive things from your past. Again, maybe about your family members, and kind of you could be putting the pieces together. If there's been some questions about things, you could all of a sudden get insights again into your genealogy and your family history. Okay, so Virgo, Jupiter and Scorpio transit will be happening in your 3rd house of communication, local travel, local community, siblings. So expansion around how you communicate. Definitely you'll be talking a lot this year, Virgo, with Jupiter there expanding your communication sector. So you'll be wanting to, get involved with your local community, with your neighbors. There could definitely be an expansion and a truce with a sibling, or maybe with a neighbor, somebody in your local community. But again, just getting more involved in your local community and expanding your network in and around you locally. Great. So Libra, Jupiter and Scorpio transit will be happening in your second house of the job you work at, your income, self-worth, security, self-worth, and identity. So, you know, this will be an expansion of your money. You definitely could get a new job at this time, or if you are an independent contractor, own your own business, you could get a very prosperous new client or new clients, and you're just going to be feeling very abundantly secure and very sure of yourself. Again, second house rules self-worth, so you could be feeling an expansion around who you are, and it might be in relationship to making more money and feeling more secure. So your own self-worth is, you're feeling very very good about yourself, obviously, and just very secure throughout this transit. Scorpio. So Scorpio, this is happening in your own sign. Jupiter is coming home, and this is, clearly all about you. Jupiter and Scorpio, you're having a Jupiter return, so to speak, and this is all about your physical identity. This is about your life path. This is about you expanding yourself and what's possible. And again, being a Scorpio in general, you usually go through very transformative periods. So this could be a time of expansion and growth around, again, your whole life path, whether that be, more from an emotional standpoint, physical, spiritual. You'll be growing and expanding in ways that you didn't know. It's also, great, for relationships, because it's aspect in the first house, which is, directly affects the opposite house, which is the seventh house. So you could be meeting really great new partners, either in business or love. But in general, this is your time to shine. This is your time to take your power. This is your time, to really make the most of this transit, because this only happens every 12 years, where you get to have Jupiter come back into your sign. So again, an overall sense of abundance and expansion in your own self-worth, your own life path, your whole destiny in the world. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, Jupiter and Scorpio transit will be happening in your 12th house of the subconscious mind, spirituality, long distance travel to foreign lands, and dreams, your subconscious dreaming state. So expansion and abundance around healing. You could definitely be letting go of any addictions or lifestyles that just are not working with you. You could be letting go of people that are toxic in your life. You could be finding new forms of spirituality to help you do that and accomplish those goals. And you could be, going off to a foreign land, far away, to say a spiritual retreat, like an ashram. This would be definitely a manifestation of Jupiter transiting your 12th house. Capricorn. Capricorn, the Jupiter and Scorpio transit will be happening in your 11th house of friendships, goals, wishes, dreams, and large groups, large organizations. So expansion around your circle of friends, your circle of influence in society. You could be meeting new large groups that you really call to you, that inspire you, and you could be meeting new people that become like lifelong friends, people that you can really count on, people that are very solid and secure. And you could also be expanding your hopes and your wishes. So you could be having breakthroughs this year. If you've been working on a project, a dream of yours, you could start to see some manifestations happen in and around that area of your life, again, in relation to your hopes, wishes, and dreams. Great. So Aquarius, Jupiter and Scorpio transit is going through your 10th house of life path, prestige, destiny, superiors, male figures. So expansion around your life path. If Aquarius does not know what they want to do in the world, this year could really prove to be the year that you really figure it out, and the universe just opens the doors to abundance in your life path, and again, what you're destined to do in the world, and also breakthroughs and expansion around how you deal with authority figures or male figures in your life. You could be suddenly seeing breakthroughs with, again, people, men that are close to you, expansion around those relationships, and overall just an expansion within what you're meant to do in the world. So Pisces, the Jupiter and Scorpio transit will be happening in your 9th house of long distance travel, spirituality, truth, wisdom, growth, secondary education. So you could be going back to school at this time. You could be expanding your knowledge of a subject that you want to learn, whether that be a secondary, like a certification or another degree. You could be going back to actual school and getting those at this time. Or you could just be expanding your overall sense of who you are, you know, your own spirituality, your beliefs. You know, things could be changing and evolving and transforming within your own belief system. And again, massive transformations within your mind. You could be taking long distance trips at this time, you know, maybe for educational purposes, and they will bring a lot of expansion, luck, and growth to you. So guys, this was the 12 sign analysis of Jupiter in Scorpio for each sign. I really hope you enjoyed it. You know, again, Jupiter in Scorpio is about expansion of the unknown, expansion of, you know, the deepest parts of our soul, and, you know, trusting the process, you know, going within and, you know, using our power for good, you know, and our transformation for good, and also expanding our knowledge of the underworld, so to speak, and, you know, not being afraid of it, but really bringing it to light and utilizing its power and wisdom. So I hope you enjoyed the special Jupiter and Scorpio video. Again, it's always great to do these for you guys. I really, really love it. And just thank you so much for your love, support, and kindness. And if you could please like, subscribe, you know, to the video, to my channel, and come over and check me out again on Astromomma on Facebook, or come over to my website, astromomma.com. And I will leave, you know, links to all of those in the dialog box below. But I look forward to being with you guys again soon. And I hope you have a great Jupiter and Scorpio year. Thanks. Bye.